Vlad.
Yo, what up, boys? Um, it's your boy Vlad. Today, we're going to do the second episode of the VladCast. You know what I'm saying? And hoping everything works fine. Cause I don't know why I cannot hear myself on the headphones, but whatever. So today we're going to explain a range of topics coming from the gaming PC versus console war. Then we have the PlayStation Slim release, as well as the iPhone 15 Pro Max gaming. So we have a lot of stuff happening, not a lot of time. Actually, we have quite a lot of time, like an hour or so. So I'm here, joined by our precious guests from the last time, Keegan and
Hello.
Phoenix over here, who's
That's
sitting reading papers. If y'all can say something, that would be great.
I don't know. What's up?
What up?
Okay, so
Happy?
Okay.
there's a lot of stuff here.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, and
So-
wait, can y'all hear yourself through headphones?
I can hear myself. Can you not?
Yeah, I cannot hear.
I don't think you're fully connected.
Oh, yeah. I
I
have to
see.
turn this on. You can manage it. Keegan, you too. Okay, so,
Now I hear you.
yeah. Okay, sorry guys, technical issues, man, happening in the field right away. Okay, so let's start. So, first topic, we have gaming PC versus console. So, the first comment I actually found on the official IGN website, so that's where I kind of find some of the topics I choose. An interesting point that Felix the Cat 626 made. That's kind of cool name. But yeah, let's actually start off by your preference, guys. So Keegan, what do you think? What is better, console or PC gaming?
Probably PC.
PC.
Yeah.
PC and
Probably. Do you not have an opinion? Do you not? You're like maybe.
Well,
Okay.
Keegan.
PC.
Well, I mean,
is-
PC, you can, you get a PC, you can upgrade all your parts for better
Exactly.
games. You can get almost any
You can
game you
expand.
want.
That's why I like PC. Honestly, it's just the thing is when you only have console, those are few good consoles, like, especially when it comes like the Xbox, the Series X. Like you can see inside of it, like that the cooling unit that is just it looks like it's a solid 5'10" pounds. It's big, it's bulky, but it is
Although-
insanely powered. But you can't really you can't upgrade it. You can't make it smaller.
Talking about
because it's not enough
PCs, bro.
space.
Talking about PCs. How bulky is a PC?
More bulkier than an Xbox Series X.
That's
I
what
get-
I'm saying.
No, it is totally big, but you can fit more inside of it. That's the point of it being that size, so you can't expand. But
Yo,
you make it smaller.
also we have a host over here, Curtis. He's in the studio booth, managing everything. By the way, Curtis, just to make sure, man, did you start the recording on the thing? You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's some technical stuff. But so. The next thing, obviously, y'all are wondering, what is your boy Vlad thinking about the gaming PC versus console situation? So originally, I started playing on the PC. I remember it was like I was in Ukraine, bro. I was used to play on this old PC, crappy PC. And what is interesting is that I played some good games though on it. It was Assassin's Creed 2, my favorite game of all time. Maybe not all time, but like that's a good game.
It's a good game though.
Yeah, that's
I
what
love
I'm
that
talking
game.
about. Then when I came to the US, man, I bought a PS4. So I had a PS4 Slim, and I've experience of both PC and console, man. Currently, I'm playing games on PC though. You know what I'm saying? But I was thinking about buying a PS5. So, we are gonna talk about the PS5 Slim a bit later into the show. But I'm thinking, gaming on the PC, although like when I played on my PS4, I mainly played Fortnite. It's better to play on the mouse and keyboard in that game, and people even went as far as connecting like their keyboard and mouse to the console and playing. That's kind of what I did a bit. But that's not the greatest thing because it had some input delay and whatnot, now, the actual PS5, I feel like, it's a great thing because, I mean, at first it didn't have as many games. Like, it didn't have any exclusive games or anything like that. Actually released with, I'm pretty sure, the Ratchet and Clank the Rift Apart, which is a great game. I played the Ratchet and Clank on the PS4. I really liked it. Although like kind of looks like a kids game, but it's like actually fun because it's made by the same developers of Insomniac. So it's pretty much called, the company is called Insomniac. They develop the Spider-Man games. If y'all are familiar with the Spider-Man PS4, it's called Marvel Spider-Man. But like the Miles Morales, the two. Yeah, so my personal opinion about the actual topic, I feel like, I don't know. I kind of don't really game much on the PC right now. Like, I don't know. It's like, so I have this comment pulled up in our script, and it says, one personal issue I have with PC gaming is that after spending all day working on a PC, the last thing I want is to sit at another desk with a mouse in one hand and a keyboard in another. I feel like as though I'm in the same environment, I've been under pressure all day. Somehow sitting on my couch with my controller, looking at a TV is different enough for me to feel like I can relax and enjoy my hobby. Even if my eyes are screaming at me to look at something that's not a rectangle. Okay, so I think that's a valid point. I just, I don't know. What do y'all think? What do y'all think?
Well, I may be a bit biased, but I've only had consoles. I've never actually owned a PC. My first consoles were like stuff like the Nintendo GameCube, the Nintendo 64, moving to the 360. I've been pretty much an Xbox fan for most of the time. But I can agree with your point though, honestly, about that. It's probably a lot nicer to just sit on a couch or whatever instead of going back to another PC. But I still do think it is true that, if you want the best experience of games, I think PC is your best option, but the most expensive option.
Yeah.
Hands down. With a console, it's just a lot of times, you can't play certain games, especially if you have a PlayStation exclusive or an Xbox exclusive. Sometimes you, well, not so much with the Xbox, but with PlayStation, you can't play like maybe Spider-Man on PC unless somebody ports it.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that was the same thing with The Last of Us. It isn't actually that good ported from what I've heard. I've never played it. But
actually, an interesting point is that now pretty much most of the PlayStation exclusives are getting ported on the PC officially. For example, we got Spider-Man Miles Morales recently. We have the Spider-Man remastered on the PC. We have the older God of War, not the Ragnarok, but the 2018 one. And those are actually pretty good games. We got The Last of Us 2, or like 1. And the remastered version of it. We didn't get The Last of Us 2 yet. But that's kind of interesting, though, because it's kind of taking away the value from the console, in my opinion. Although, like, what the new releases. Apparently, so if we base it off of the actual release dates from the, if you remember, Miles Morales, Spider-Man Miles Morales, it released, I believe the PC port released like 3 or 4 years later after the PS4 and PS5. So I'm just thinking that, most of the games are going to come to a PC, but like you get that first-hand experience on the actual console, which is, I find pretty great because like PC people can play the actual games on PC and enjoy them. Console nerds, bro, can play their games.
I'll be honest. So I grew up playing on consoles a lot,
Yeah.
and I didn't really have a
same here.
computer to be accessible. And honestly, there's a lot more of a nostalgic feeling about sitting down, and especially like playing with multiple people. Like I'm thinking like the split screen Call of Duty games with like my brothers and stuff like that. That stuff was always like such a good moment to me, and I feel like I don't know. It's a lot more different when you're on your computer, because when you're on the computer, a lot of the time it's single player or it is multiplayer, but you're by yourself and you need another computer to play with people. It's the cross compatibility, and then also being able to sit with like a big screen, see so much, and then also have other people experience what you're doing as well. I think that's what a lot of the authenticity of like the console comes from.
Yeah, I feel that because, like, for example, if you're playing on PC, man, I mean, there is a bit of like co-op you can do. Like you can play on different parts of the keyboards, but there isn't much you can do. You can like, I just don't imagine connecting two keyboards to one computer. That's not something I would do.
Though is and also another thing when you do two keyboards and a computer, they will it's called cross over each other. They'll think you're typing the same thing. It doesn't communicate properly.
Yeah.
But I will say you can always get the extensions and stuff like that that you can use to plug into a controller, or you could just have like an emulator on your computer. The computer has so many ways to emulate the same exact thing that consoles can do. It's just people don't know how to do it and people don't do it. It's not the normal thing for someone to do. It's just easier to buy the console.
That's something I was kind of leading to, that like even on the PC, we actually use controllers from the consoles, and for example, even even the PS5 controllers, bro, people use them on the PC all the time, like, because that's pretty much the only way you can play co-op games. And it kind of leads us to like the OG, like the old games where you used to play like one person, like your brother on the left, you on the right, bro. You have like two controllers, man, and you're just playing some like Mortal Kombat or something like that, man. And I feel like that's what a console is great for, kind of like party games, something like that. And that's kind of what Nintendo Switch focused on, because it has like that functionality. You can disconnect one controller, disconnect the other. You can have like two people playing at the same time, and you can connect more controllers and have more people. That's kind of what we actually not recently, like a couple of years ago, did with like Mario Kart here.
Yeah.
And I actually quite enjoyed that. I think it's a fun experience to just play with your boys, man. You know what I'm saying? Just like Mario Kart, bro. Some games,
I think that's why I like the Switch a lot too, honestly. Like I always wanted to get a Switch and I just never got to buying it because like I wanted it so I could play games at my own house with other people, and then it's also just the accessibility of just being able to pop it out.
Yeah.
Everything being together, So it was just so much easier, and that's why I kind of wanted it, but I never pushed it.
Never bought it.
Yeah.
I actually bought it one time, bro.
I still do want it, honestly.
Yeah,
I
I bought it one time, and I actually returned it to the store, bro, because the games were so expensive.
Yeah.
And plus, it's like the hardware's kind of lacking. I played Fortnite on it, bro, a bit, and it's like.
When I look at a Switch, I don't think of it. As
that's
like
what I'm saying. It's like,
machine,
bro, because there weren't any free games. It's like, bro, you have to buy everything. It's like right now.
As is just today, by the way, Fortnite update, old map is back.
Yeah, that's
Do
actually.
you see that? Is that actually something you have inside
it's,
this? Oh my god.
Our
We will get to that.
subtopic. Yeah.
We will get to.
Okay.
Sorry.
So let's progress through our actually list of things. So for the prices, PS5 digital is $400 currently. The PS5 disc version is $500. Both are 825 gigabytes, but can use third-party M.2 SSDs to expand the actual storage. So next is the Xbox. So Xbox Series X with 1 terabyte is $500. To increase the storage, you need a proprietary SSD, and I actually listed this as of the second month of 2023. The Xbox storage expansion card for 512 gigabytes is $140. Yo, that's gonna. 1 terabyte is $200, and 2 terabytes is $360. Yo.
Wow.
Now I'll say something. I have an Xbox One X because, to be honest with you, I don't see myself getting a Series X for a little while because I don't see it, and I don't personally see that console as a next generation. To me, it was just an update. It had the same OS, different hardware, just an updated console. That's all it was to me. You take the 360 and the Xbox One, that was next generation.
They still look the same too. The Xbox One and the Xbox Series X, they have the same kind of like black, slick kind of stuff. Was like, for example, iPhones. I think I mentioned like the generational thing with iPhones. Like you can see the difference.
Yeah, you can see the difference.
You can see it, you can feel it, and you can actually like notice the fact that it looks differently, And also, other generations, when you get a new generation, a lot of the companies will end up making the older generation have more issues, so you have to buy the new one. And they haven't really pushed that yet because the console is too expensive to make. And, it's just the way it is.
Well, anyway, with the Xbox thing I was going for my Xbox One X, I bought believe it was a 5 terabyte, I think. Maybe,
That's a
I think
lot.
5 terabyte hard drive, extended
Yeah.
external hard drive, and I think I found it online for $80, and it still works. Like it's still very good. It's very very good for $80 for 5 terabytes. And I mean, I'm looking at that, what, $200 for a terabyte? Like really? It's kind of ridiculous.
That's what I'm saying. And this is official, pretty much. This is official Xbox storage expansion card. And, I think actually it kind of makes sense because, like, you bought a hard drive, so it's not as fast as an
sure.
SSD. So,
But I still run perfectly fine with the games that I play.
I mean, honestly, is it worth buying a complete external storage drive when you can just plug it into the Xbox? I think it makes it a lot more simple that for the Series X that the storage device is like it's like an actual SD card. You just slide it in and it starts
Reminds me
working.
of memory cards
you
on the
can't
old
really-
consoles.
You can't transfer it too well. And what I am thinking about now is like the fact that I can unplug all of the my 4 terabyte storage off of my Series X and plug it into my actual Xbox. I can play the same games and have the same storage. I just have to unplug it and organize it properly. But like I think that makes it a lot easier to like move, and you could transfer consoles and transfer data like that. And I think that's useful, but I think it's still it's a process unplugging it and then transferring all those files.
So, also, what is interesting is I wanted to point out or whatever. So, the PS5 uses M.2s, and it allows you to actually change them out. And it's like the M.2s now
Did
are
they do that?
yeah.
Oh wow.
You open up the lid, literally unscrew it, plug it in. That's it.
Wow.
And
I didn't know that.
yeah, the M.2s are actually really simple to change out, and they're really cheap now. Like literally, I found like 2 terabytes for $100. Like that's a fast SSD. It's like on Spider-Man, I've seen the transitions using like those M.2s and whatnot. It's literally 2 seconds, you're switched character on another point of the map. Literally, it's like not even a loading screen. It's just an animation.
Dude, those people who have been working on ways to make it so loading screens just don't need to exist, it is insane.
Yeah, and that comes into Starfield, which has about
That's so cool.
No,
Is it difficult?
have you
though?
seen?
I have
seen
not.
Starfield, bro. It has I don't know, Keegan. Have you played it, Starfield?
No, because I don't have a Series X. I mean, I can cloud game it.
Yeah.
Because I have Game Pass Ultimate, but it is really, really bad.
Yes, people were complaining because Starfield had loading screens pretty much everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
If you actually go out of the map,
It's the opposite.
yeah,
Everything's a loading screen on that game. Even through moving throughout your ship is a loading screen. You want to go from entering into the ship, it's a loading screen. I believe, you can't just walk into the ship or climb through a ladder. You have to load into your own ship. It's like, really?
And literally, if you are on the planet, you only have like 40 minutes of walk, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It's like limited. The path that you can go to is limited. You're gonna have to like land somewhere else if you wanna like expand a different point of the map. And if y'all don't know, Starfield is pretty much a space game where you travel through planets. And people compared it to No Man's Sky, which actually doesn't have loading screens. So you can like...
Nope. I played No Man's Sky, and that's a good game. It doesn't have much story to it, but it's a fun game if you got friends to play it with.
Yeah. And I feel like they would be better off doing that. And that actually is interesting because I've read and the people have said that it's probably like the loading screens are probably the reason to why Starfield doesn't have any like cars or anything like that.
Yeah, no, I'm being honest. I'm watching this gameplay, and every single time it loads, it takes like 5 seconds. And I bet you this guy who's playing the game, this is an 8-hour video, they have to have a good enough computer to like run the game that well. So this computer, as we say, good computer, runs it well. Those still loading screens. You could have the best of the best, and then you're gonna have a 5-second loading screen. Nah,
Yeah, loading screen,
like
literally.
it's just.
How long this is? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
You know,
10,
like the GTA
11,
loading screen.
12, 13,
Wow.
14 seconds, and there's still
it's an
animation.
And then you get a cutscene, and
Yeah.
after the loading screen, you
That's
get a cutscene.
literally 30 seconds worth of loading onto a map.
I mean, well, so think about GTA though. GTA has long loading.
Okay, well, that is a 2013 game, by
and
the way.
it's online, and
Well, even that
It
online.
sucks. Like, I feel like they could, if they were to remaster GTA, they would never do it. They would never.
They
go
basically
do
did
that.
with the Xbox
But
Series X version.
they did make it faster and stuff like
Yeah,
that
they
too.
made loading screens better and they made it look better. But the problem with that is if you had an Xbox Series X and you went to go play on the Xbox Series X version,
Yeah.
right? Your character wouldn't properly transfer over from your Xbox One
Yeah.
version of the game. I have
And-
friends who had that happen. They
Oh,
completely start
That's
over.
actually
And
bad.
And you
so
can't
upsetting,
play with
too.
people who have an Xbox One version and say like you Vlad, you get an Xbox One version, you can't play with me if I
Well,
use the
'cause
Xbox Series X
Think
version.
about it. Another thing that sucks with those long ass screens. Oh my bad.
Oh.
The issue with those long screens is just like you sit there and you're waiting, and then you have another person you're playing with try and load up the game, but they're going to take 10 times longer because they have a different internet speed, you know? So it's just, at some point, it gets inconvenient, very inconvenient. Especially when it comes to things that's that long. I feel like with how, if Starfield, if everyone's doing the same speeds of loading screens, then maybe it's more useful. But like when you're waiting for something to load and it just takes that long, I don't think it's that worth it, you know?
Yeah, and that's
gets upsetting.
That's why I like PS5, bro. Like it said, bro, 3-second loading screens, literally, between switching characters on different points of the maps, and you can use them right away. You don't have. It's like animation is like 3 seconds, literally, and so that's why M.2s are great. And I'm kind of disappointed that Xbox doesn't have that. They have like their proprietary thing.
So what is this expansion card? Phoenix, you said it's like an SSD? Or not
Yeah,
an SSD,
so-
but like a SIM card you just put into the
If
Xbox?
you look at the Xbox new,
Because if it's just a little card you just slide into the console, then it literally reminds me of old consoles, say like the GameCube or whatever.
cards?
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
a memory card. Like, are they trying to bring that type of thing back?
actually, you know what? Those things, it kind of is just like it. It's just the old ones had like a lot less space.
Well, of course.
You know, if you look at it, like it is
You just
just
slide
about
it
that
in,
big,
literally.
and you slide it into
Oh.
the back.
That's actually kind of weird though, because I never seen that. It's like small, pretty much hard drive or an SSD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you,
Pretty much like an M.2, but you slide it in, right?
kind of, it's more just like you plug it into the back.
Oh,
Yeah, that literally looks
It
like
fits
like
in
they
just
have a
like that.
memory card in there.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. I wonder. I can't get a good.
I don't know
photo,
how I feel
can
about that, to be honest.
Yeah, and plus, I don't think they're as
But you see
fast
how it
as
just.
M.2s. So
I mean, a 512 gigabyte one that you can just plop right into it. I mean, it looks convenient.
You can
it
get
sounds
like 2
convenient.
terabytes just that size. It's insane.
but
It is pretty insane. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie,
and,
but
and it works as like an SSD.
512, $140. Yo,
It is expensive.
bro.
And I was debating getting it, and then we went and got a 4 terabyte by I think it was like Seagate. I'm not sure. No, it was WD Black.
I probably would still just
And
go with
it
a hard
works
drive
pretty
because
well.
it's a
How
lot
much was
cheaper.
that?
But I will say you cannot play any of the games though on the hard drive itself. You need you can play some
Oh,
games.
you bought a hard
but,
drive
like,
instead? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, well,
External?
it's an external SSD. The thing is, if you use that though, some games would be fine. Like small games like Fall Guys, anything that doesn't take a lot of power to
Yeah.
run, that stuff works fine. But when you go and put it into the actual hard drive, if it's like Call of Duty, if it's in the hard drive, you can't use it, and you need to transfer the files out of it into the actual
Oh.
Xbox itself, and that takes like a minute to do, and then you have to see if it actually even works.
Are you
know,
talking
and
for a
it's
Series
just-
X?
Yeah.
Because my I have big
You have to
big
transfer
games.
them in and out.
I have big games in my hard drive, and I don't have that problem. My games run.
Some of them will be fine, but like I think Fallout 76, I'm pretty sure it has to be on the actual Xbox for it to work, and like Fortnite has to be on the Xbox, and you can put it back on, but you won't be able to use any of the storage
Wait,
for it
so
unless it's on the
you
Xbox.
cannot put it on the actual hard drive?
You can have it on the hard drive, but if it is, you won't be able to play it. Like
I don't have
on
that
the
problem for
Xbox.
any of my stuff because I got Arc on my external, and it runs
It
perfectly fine,
might-
and that is a very
Might
big game.
depend on the actual
might
hard
depend.
drive because they have different speeds. And for example, he has 4 terabytes. How much you have?
5, pretty sure.
Actually, I, mean,
Since-
I don't know though. Yeah. Okay, so let's get also cannot forget Nintendo Switch, man. Nintendo
Oh, yeah,
Switch,
can't forget
$300, man. Although the OLED is like $400, I mean, I don't know if that's worth the upgrade. I'm gonna be honest, bro. $400, or is it like 350? I'm pretty sure OLED, something like that. Okay, and PC. So depends on the desktop, but a good gaming one would be around $1,000, which can support games for quite some time with things such as RTX. So that's another thing. I looked up how much do you need to spend to actually get a PC that will run the same as a PS5? Guess what? $1,000, near $1,000 you have to spend to actually get a similar gaming PC to a $500 console. So, console's much more cheaper to actually use, and I understand. I actually wanted to buy a PS5 myself.
But like, think about it. The games are like $60 each time they get released.
70 now.
Yeah. They used to be 60, dude. Now they're all AAA
like,
games are 70.
Yeah, and I'm like,
and that's if you buy the standard edition.
Then
any deluxe edition, $150.
Yeah, deluxe 120
200.
easy. 120 easy.
And that's another thing.
And it's not even that
Increased
much
the
different.
price for PS Plus. So I think we'll talk about that. Well, because
That's so upsetting.
yeah, that's because they're actually selling the consoles at a loss. That's what I heard. That they're selling the console. Yeah, PS5s they cost more to produce, and they get more. Like they got all the money that they make is pretty much from just digital purchases. That's why things such as PS Plus get a price increase, and
It's like digital, and you need to have PS Plus for it to be digital.
So
I wish they just made it PS Plus more accessible, because like you can buy a console and you can you can play the most basic games, but if you don't get gold, you can't play multiplayer a lot of the time. There's so many
doesn't
apps.
really exist anymore.
Oh no, I'm sorry. If you don't get what is it? Just Ultimate now, or
Just standard.
Oh wait,
just
maybe I'm thinking
standard
of
Game
Xbox
Pass.
Live.
Just called Game Pass Core.
Yeah, I don't know. I stopped playing console a while back, and so it's kind of difficult to keep up with it. But like, it's just you have so many things you have to make sure you have just to be able to play. And if you buy an Xbox and you don't want to pay for those memberships, it's kind of useless at that point.
Well, it's been like that ever since they introduced Live.
I know, and I hated it so much.
Pretty much.
I feel like they just made it so it's easier for everyone, because then you have to buy it, and you have to buy the subscription, and you have to buy a few more things too.
What is good about like PS Plus though is that you don't need it for free games, like or like the browser or anything like that. You just you can play all the free games without PS Plus.
Yeah.
And that's good. But like for everything else,
Are the free games that good though?
I mean, it depends
some
on
are
what you
fun.
play. Yeah, like
Some of them are
for
good.
example, some people just play Fortnite or something, bro. You don't need PS Plus for that. And actually, what I thought about is that, PS Plus.
But if
It's
you want
kind of
to
bad of a concept, like because I had PS Plus for like 2 or 3 years, like when I was playing on my PS4, bro, like I think even more than 3 years, like close to 4 years, and I redeemed most of the games from there. But I cannot play any of those games unless I have the PS Plus subscription. And that's actually that's just bad because like I go on my PS4, bro. I have like 3 games that I can play, bro, because I bought those, and I'm like, yo.
And that's kind of what it is becoming with Xbox Ultimate too, is that like you can have a bunch of free games totally, and Xbox Ultimate is wicked useful. Honestly, I love the fact of how much you can use with it, but like it's once you get all those games, if you don't pay for that, you stop paying for it.
You lose all of them.
And you have to buy a month too. You can't like buy like a few days.
That's
there's no like yearly thing or days or whatever.
Like what if I wanted to play all these games for like 2 weeks and then not for another 3 months?
If you haven't bought Ultimate in a long time, they will always usually, because I've seen it with friends, even myself, they'll give you like it'll be like $1 for 2 weeks, almost kind of like a trial.
do
But
that?
yes, but it will reoccur, and that's usually if you haven't bought Ultimate in or ever or in a long time. Because I've had it where I didn't have Ultimate for 3 months, and then they gave me that deal. If you spend $1, you'll get 2 weeks for $1, and then you'll have reoccurring billing on unless you turn it off.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of the same for PS Plus. You only can buy like month, then 3 months, and 12 months, I'm pretty sure, or 6 months, something like that. Yeah, so let's get. Oh, actually, I forgot to say that PS5 got the power of a high-end PC with components equivalent to a Ryzen 3 700 CPU and an RTX 2070 or 3060, which equivalent comes to $1,000 in total. Okay, and that leads us to the next topic, which is the PlayStation Plus Slim release. So, the console will have an upgrade to 1 terabyte from 825 gigabytes on a normal PS5. So a normal PS5 has 825 gigabytes. This one will have 1 terabyte. The new PS5 has been reduced in volume by 30%, which is pretty good, and weight by 18%. I mean, no one cares about the weight, man. Although, like,
Just
if
sits
you're
on a table all day.
yeah.
So let's be honest.
Only
cares?
people who travel really, but like, bro, it's not that heavy, man. You know, go to the gym or something, man. Okay, and so
They
20.
were bulky. That was a big complaint.
Uh-huh.
Because like with the Xbox One, I feel like I could hold with one hand, but the Xbox Series X, it feels like a block.
Is it, like,
I
actually
feel
heavy?
they
Yeah, it
did the
looks like a
same thing
mini
with the
fridge.
PS5.
Well,
yeah.
I thought it was actually quite small compared to like
It's
a
small.
PS5.
It's
Yeah.
small, but it's compact.
Uh-huh.
That's it. You know.
Okay, so what is interesting is that the prices have changed. So the actual price for the Blu-ray, which is like the disc version, hasn't changed. It's still $500. But if you're buying the digital version, it's $450. And you can actually now add an $80 drive and just play your games.
I
I
wish I
mean-
could do that. I mean, okay, so yeah, that is totally useful and all, but like, do you save anything? Like, if I buy a digital console and
So-
then buy the extension, is it then
You save $500
What?
because you cannot plug in any USB disk drives into like a normal
Oh.
PS5. That's the point.
I mean, what if you get an expansion that's like
You
10
cannot get an
bucks?
expansion
You
for
can't
it
get a
because
USB expansion.
it's Blu-ray and it's high speed, so like to read all the games. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure.
So it needs to be able to like transfer
Yeah,
data
that's
properly.
why this is big because like you can, if you buy the all digital version, you can just go ahead, plug in the actual disc, modular or thing, whatever, for $80. You know, if you ever decide to buy like an own actually like physical games. You know, some people love to actually get those physical games, like just have a pack of them. And Curtis, if you could pull up the image of the actual disc thing, disc modular thing on the screen, that would be great. Yeah, y'all can see on the screen, that's how it works. So you pretty much plug it in. So you take off a lid from the actual side. Curtis, can you actually put on the other image with the just PS5? Yeah. Yeah, so you can see on the sides, it actually has like that, like, it's kind of like a small strip. You can easily see it from the side, but like,
Did they not? Were they not able to do that before? Like, what?
um,
Were you only able to use digital?
yeah, so that's
Oh,
why you
wow.
buy the digital version. It's like,
I
it's
guess.
cheaper, yeah. So y'all can see,
But now they sell the one
Uh-huh.
with it. I thought they had both of them before.
well, they had both of them. You could only purchase, for example, like if you purchased the disc version, you could use the disc. But if you purchase the digital version, it's $100 cheaper. But the trade-off is that you can never use
and
the
all your
actual.
discs now
yeah.
need to be digital. You have
Yeah.
to buy the games again too. You know, that's why they did
That's
that.
the
Well-
biggest issue with a digital console is if you own discs, you got to go buy it all over again on an online
Yeah, that's
store.
why it's good because, like, for example, if you come into the you know what I'm saying, GameStop, bro, you see like a cheap game, you're like, oh damn,
I
I
know,
wanted
right?
to play that game, and you're like, oh damn, I have a digital console, I cannot do that.
Yeah.
But now you can have an option, man. You can buy like, oh man, I have so many games that I actually want to get, you know, on physical, that you know, the $80 upgrade is just worth it. I feel like.
Yeah.
So you don't have to buy a whole new console for that. So that's the good part. But the bad part is that, like, for example, you buy the all digital version, now it's $450. It was $400 before. And what is interesting is that if you add the $80 to it, it equals to $530.
You
So
spend more.
you
What does
spend
this
a
buy
bit more,
No,
but
no.
do? I mean, like, where does it go? Does it just Because if it goes back on the side of the console, then it isn't a slim anymore. So where do they put the disk drive? Do it just sit out on
The
a
disk
table?
drive,
Like
well,
with a wire connected to it?
you can see it's on the picture over here. So you connect it. It's just like on the side. That's literally
Yeah,
it.
it just
You connect it
replaces
to the console.
basically.
Yeah, over there you can see you connect it to the console, and that's it, literally. And that's how it looks pretty much the same as the normal disc version. So it's slimmer, by 30% of a normal PS5. That's a good thing, I feel like.
35% is
30%. I mean,
30%. But I mean,
in total volume, that's pretty good.
does it change the weight a lot?
18% of the weight.
It does. Okay.
So yeah, and so the bad part though, a horizontal stand will be included with the purchase, while you have to buy the vertical stand separately for $30, and it's like a metal stand you can see over here.
And do you need to have the stand to
Yeah.
be able to use that? Like,
No, I mean you can put it horizontal, but it just looks better vertically. And that stand is actually you can see it on the picture. It's like metal stand pretty much, and it's $30. I mean, I feel like kind of that's a ripoff, but yeah. So the new
I mean,
PS,
think about how much it's saving you though. I mean,
you get more storage
it
though
is
with this
definitely
version.
cheaper,
And
yeah.
what is interesting is that this is pretty
you
much.
said it took up the USB slot, didn't it though?
So from what I've heard, there are going to be more USB-C slots on the back now.
Is that going to be on the actual disk drive, or do I have to buy a new PS5?
No.
That? Oh, so
What do you know?
you know?
No. Well, there aren't any like actual USB-C or anything on the front on the. Actually, I'm pretty
We
sure
don't see
there
any
is.
at least. There might be some in the back.
Let me see.
On the back of the.
Yeah, there are a
drive.
bunch in the back. That's what I think. So yeah.
Hopefully.
And what is interesting is that this is going to be just an upgrade. It's not going to be a separate console you have to buy. So this will change out the old PS5 model. So the new PS5 model will be available starting this November in the US at select local retailers. It will continue to roll out globally in the following months. Once inventory of the current PS5 model is sold out, the new PS5 will become the only model available. So this is just a replacement. It's not. People call it the slim version. I don't call it the slim version personally because it's just a PS5 upgrade. You get more storage, less volume. It's just an
It
upgrade.
kind of is just better, but I also does it change anything when it comes to actual quality of the game? Because I'm thinking if I was to take out what most of the weight is in the Xbox, which is that heatsink, if I was to get rid of most of that weight, that heatsink isn't going to do as good of a job. So is that
That's actually a
would
good
that happen
point.
with the PS5?
Although, I had a PS4 Slim, and it was pretty good.
Yeah?
It performed really well. Yeah, it was just slimmer console.
I mean, there wasn't. I don't know. I never got to actually test that. I
It was
want
really
see how they
quiet
would
too. This
compare,
might be
you know?
quieter because this is a new upgrade to the actual first year lineup or whatever.
Yeah.
So the PS5, I'm pretty sure it's 3 years old already, or 3 years, and I feel like that's a necessary thing to do, to keep the console, the legacy alive for it. And I actually like that they replaced the default versions with this. They don't release separate versions you have to buy. And although, actually, I'm thinking about this. When I bought my PS4, so the actual normal version, the Slim, was $300. The normal version before was $400. So it was a price decrease. Now it's not a price decrease. It's technically a price increase for the digital version. And what I've heard is that apparently, for this disk drive to work, you need to be connected to a Wi-Fi. Once you connect it, the expansion pretty much.
Wi-Fi though.
Yeah, it needs Wi-Fi. That's kind of
So,
weird. I feel
The
like.
thing is that sucks. Wait, so what if you wanted it to be hardwired though? The thing is, if it needs Wi-Fi, that means it shouldn't be hardwired in, and that also means you're going to have to deal with a worse connectivity. There's no way I can get as good of a connection wirelessly than I can hardwired in. You know,
Mhm.
it's always gonna be better if I'm hardwired.
Well, it's hardwired. It's pretty much hardwired, but I'm not sure. Oh,
I
actually,
mean, I guess you probably could do
I
both,
understand.
but
Yo, I understand now. I understand why it has to be connected to Wi-Fi. I kind of forgot, but apparently, so you can connect this as a separate thing. So previously, you weren't able to connect like a disk drive to the console. Now you can connect it, and to actually, you know. It has to be connected to a Wi-Fi because it has to verify that you're running the legal games, and it's
oh,
running off the actual, the right
so you
disk
can't have
drive.
any like pirated games,
Yeah, so you
basically.
cannot run pirated games. That's the whole point, I
Okay,
feel like.
interesting.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it for the PS5 Slim. I don't know. I think it's a good thing, but I feel like it should have been cheaper, man. It's already like
Does
$500.
oh wait, I'm looking at the PS5 versus the PS9, some of the actual like stats of it.
Yeah.
And honestly, most of the stuff seems the same, other than like you said, the storage and wow, actually,
Well,
it looks audio stays the same, the RAM stays the same.
Yeah.
It's just
that's
stuff
the
we
same
changed.
console,
Yeah.
but it's just an upgrade, like I
Wow.
said.
Yeah. No, I was thinking something might be different, but no, it actually the way it does is the same.
Yeah. And
That's cool.
yeah, so what is interesting is, I mean, the design change, I feel like the design change is worse. Like, go up a bit.
Hmm?
So on our
Oh, with how it
laptop,
like
we
pops
have
out like that.
yeah, I feel like it just looks worse. I mean, it looks more futuristic, but it just looks like a Wi-Fi router at this point.
Yeah, it does look like a Auto, definitely. You know.
Like previously, people were joking about it being a router, like Xbox being a fridge. I mean, like,
I really don't see the necessity for minimalism in this one. You know.
actually, I mean, it's pretty big.
It-
Like,
it's
it's
nice,
a
but
very,
why
it's
do they
very tall. I
always-
feel like if they made it a bit
Mm-hmm.
like shorter, that's
Well, I'm
would be
saying
better.
whenever they make new consoles, like it came out of the PS5, and the PS5 didn't have. It had what, one USB slot, right?
No, it has
does
a
it have
bunch
them in
on
the
the
back?
back. Like,
Oh, okay.
has a bunch of USB.
Maybe that's just an
and,
Xbox thing then.
USBs, yeah.
Because the Xbox had one in the front and then one in the back, I'm pretty sure. And it wasn't a lot to work with. Because then I could have like a charger, and then I could have like maybe a keyboard connection.
Yo, the
about
Samuels
it.
in the chat said, "Bro, we're losing Vlad. He's a VR YouTuber, not Fortnite." Okay, yeah. No, the other topic for today is also Fortnite. So Fortnite is getting a new season, and it's going to bring back the actual OG map and the OG loot pool. So I don't know. Have you guys played Fortnite during its peak?
I played it
Yeah,
during
a
the
long time
peak.
ago.
Yeah, no, I definitely played it when it was like still big with the old map and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff, you know.
So the first chapter. So it's returning the whole map, and I'm kind of excited for that. I'm gonna be honest, bro. I've seen Ninja on Twitch actually had like 50K viewers before season came out. So I don't know. I don't know what time does it come out today.
I thought it already came out,
Yeah,
didn't
it's
it?
already come. It's already come out.
Did it
Yeah,
come
and
out?
it's the old. It's one of the old maps. That was what they did. They basically brought back the. This looks like it was a leak. And see if I can get it like close up. So we get all the old locations that
Yeah,
used to
Loot
be there.
Lake,
You get that tiny little the
Filter
track in the
Towers,
back.
yeah.
Paradise
So
Palms
this
is
is
back.
season 5. Yeah.
Haunted Hills, dude, the Junk Junction, all the stuff they
is-
eventually replaced and then
Uh-huh.
just got rid of altogether. Like it's back.
And
You know?
it's what is interesting. It's a season 5 map.
I'm interested in what's going on in Dusty Divot though, because I see how it's all like it's a swamp.
Ooh.
So they definitely did change something. Because Dusty Divot, of
No,
course.
that's actual from season 5. Yeah.
Did they
Yeah.
actually bring that back? Okay.
Yeah,
it
that's
was
pretty
that
much the
way.
whole map. Yo,
I forgot.
yeah, Ninja on Twitch has like 60K viewers playing Fortnite. That's kind of crazy.
Lazy Lanes, dude. What?
He averages like 10,000 now or something like that.
I wish I could play this. I have to work after school. I really
Uh-huh.
wanted to look at this stuff. You know.
Yeah, I have to study for SATs. Okay, SATs tomorrow? No. Okay, I didn't study anything. But whatever.
Do they have a? I mean, I wonder if they're doing anything big
Yeah,
when it comes
so
to.
that's kind of cool. So
Oh wow! Look at
yeah,
that.
that's actually so. If y'all remember the OG like loading screen, the actually one season per week.
Yeah, it says it on the screen, Vlad.
Yeah. So Curtis said.
They're changing season. Oh, okay. So it's going to be at the original season, and then the next.
Seems like more like an event than anything.
Uh huh.
So they're going to change it every week.
So it's gonna replace
Seasons
all
5 to 10.
seasons, 5 to 10.
So it's gonna go from 5 to 6.
Yeah, 5
so
to
it's
10.
basically just going through the what's it called
Chapter 1.
It's going through the peak.
Yeah, chapter 1.
So that's so interesting. So instead
Imagine-
of keeping it at its peak, it's just reliving its peak is kind of the way it's
Yeah,
doing.
that's actually so cool though, because
love
I
that.
thought it would be like the whole season 1
We're
map.
gonna see Kevin the Cube.
Yo, that's fire. Yo, bro, I wish it was from season
Okay.
1. So that's
I have not
Kratos
kept
Time
up
Machine.
on
Yeah, I haven't
the
kept up
Fortnite
with the
lore.
lore.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know how to feel about this though, because like I wish it was from season 1.
I want to
to
see if
10.
they bring back if it's like the same old weapons and stuff like that.
It's the same loot pool,
You know.
but it's not the same like looking wise.
Is there any of do they still have all of
They're bringing back like
the vaulted stuff? Is everything that's vaulted still vaulted? Because they
so,
definitely went through a lot of stuff then.
no,
I do not
so
wanna deal
it's
with
gonna
mechs.
be
Those
pretty much
mechs
all of the
are
stuff
so
is gonna
exciting.
come back from what I've heard. Yeah,
It's
it's
awesome. Oh my god, yeah, because look, he has a hoverboard inside there.
and they have a pump, they have a baller and everything.
Yep.
So I'm pretty sure the loot pool is gonna change through the weeks. That's gonna be fun though. It's gonna be like a live event. I feel like you're just gonna be
Imagine,
able-
oh yeah, because every single time it's going to change at the end of the week, you're going to see a transition into the new world. Because they did that whenever it came to the season change too.
Okay, so that was actually our subtopic, but I kind of decided to expand on it because
that's
like
good,
it's a
let's
big
stick it.
thing. Yeah, it's a big thing that is happening.
It's definitely I feel like that's the one thing I hold the most about today, honestly.
So apparently might be an event change. So what if it changes? We have an event each time, like it changes. So like
Yeah, well, that's
something
what I'm thinking.
happened.
It's going to be an event where you're going to have to go through. Is it a time machine or
So first
like
chapter.
I don't know if you're going
event.
through the time machine,
Oh.
or if the time machine is like something's breaking up.
So we might have first chapter events. I don't know
They
though.
might go and visit other chapters with
Uh-huh.
new events after they get done with the first one.
Well, I think it
That would be
goes
fun, I
chapter
feel like,
through
yeah.
chapter.
But like
I probably won't play it, to be honest. I don't play Fortnite anymore.
Yeah.
That was a
I
long time
wanted
ago
though.
when I did that.
You know what? This is really tempting. I'll be honest. The marketing ploy is definitely doing its
yeah,
job. It's
and I've seen like TikToks or something. People are like saying, "Yo, I'm gonna come in with like my old squad and everything."
Oh, yeah.
And chapter
I'm still
4
ready
hadn't
for
had
it.
an event yet.
dude, it's gonna blow up. I honestly feel
Yeah.
like it's going to get so much more insanely big just because of this.
Yeah, and actually, what is interesting is that like I went into Fortnite and now they showcase all the player amounts. And recently, last season, it was actually less people playing Battle Royale than playing creative. That's actually
Wow.
huge because that means like the core mechanic of the game is pretty much changing. So they focused on creative a lot previously because apparently Epic Games actually, UEFN took over. So that's pretty much their game engine. So they use
Oh,
Unreal
okay.
Engine. You can input stuff and it's
Oh yeah. So I wonder, maybe it's because of all the layoffs, they needed something that's gonna boost how much money they're making. Dude, I swear it's that.
yeah, we
lawsuit.
talked about the layoffs.
It's
during
totally
last
that
podcast,
lawsuit.
Yeah.
The lawsuit came through. They did the layoffs, right? The layoffs went terrible, right? So what they basically did was say, okay, we're going to do what we know made us the most money, and that's going through all the events. So that might be what this is. They're trying to get that boost back. You know?
Save the
Interesting.
World is dead. Well, I feel like
I wanna
that's
That
say-
died years ago.
It hasn't
Yeah.
really, it never really became a big thing, you know?
It did for
Yeah.
a short while. I played it, but
I played it.
it's
and
it's been dead for a long time.
You know, I'm seeing all these new things that are coming out, dude.
Community
What?
Manager.
What if we get a Five Nights at Freddy's
Collab?
collab? Oh my
Yo,
God.
people have been suspecting that for
That'd be
so
so fun,
long.
though.
Yeah.
Running around as Freddy
Yo,
himself.
I'm disappointed for a FNAF movie they didn't get. Yo, what if it's gonna be in the Battle Pass? It's coming out today, literally.
Guys, Five Nights at Freddy's lore inside Fortnite.
Yo, that would be fun though. Imagine like,
That would be.
yo, Freddy comes in, bro. Like, yo.
Those
Okay.
like did tiny hidden things. You know?
Okay, so let's go to the next topic. We have iPhone 15 Pro Max gaming. This is actually the topic we kind of talked about a bit during last podcast, if you guys remember.
Well, I don't know what that says.
Oh, that's in Russian. This guy said, hello from Kirill.
Oh, that's
Привет,
cool.
Kirill. Okay, so, what is interesting is that Resident Evil Village was released on iPhone 15 Pro and iPads with the M1 chip on October 30th. So, Resident Evil Village, that's a huge game. And I don't know, did y'all play any Resident Evil Village? Or like
I wanted
Resident Evil
to.
games?
I saw a lot of the actual like gameplay of it, but I never
Uh-huh.
got to actually play it.
And yeah, so I actually played it. I installed it. It was 1 GB, and then it was a scam because I had to install 7 GB more.
I know. I hate when they do that. They make you go through an update and then you have to wait like an hour for your phone
That's
to update
because
it.
yeah, I'm pretty sure though that's actually a good thing because like when you just install apps through the default iPhone thing,
Hmm.
it can I don't know, it installs everything very slow, and I am pretty sure they have a limit to how big the games are on there because for example the same thing was with Fortnite when it was on iOS. You had to install the default installation or whatever thing, just Fortnite, and then you had to install like 10
I mean,
gigabytes.
they do the same thing when it comes to actual consoles, but that's when they have multiple discs. Like, for example, when they had the Cyberpunk 2077,
Yeah.
you get the first disc, and that gets the basic stuff on, and then you get the second disc, and then those connections to, I think, digital, and it loads in a lot more info, too. That's how they end up getting you to buy a 12 gigabyte disc, and then end up having the game being 64 gigabytes.
That's
You
kind
know?
of lame though, because like
It sucks.
you buy the actual full game, you buy the full game on the
expect it.
disc. For example, you may not have
Resident
internet
Evil clocks in
somewhere.
about 13 gigabytes in the entire game, and 7 gigabytes for the demo. Dude.
Yeah, so I installed
Wow.
7 GB. The entire game is 13 GB. But actually, I was thinking about like actually getting this set up for the show, but like, I couldn't really because like I thought today's show was gonna be actually shorter. That was 30 minutes, but
Well,
like,
so the thing is, if I buy a phone, if you want to be playing this kind of stuff, and they're gonna keep on releasing stuff like this, phones need more storage, and they're all coming out with it. I do see them coming out with like 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte phones. I just remember being a kid like a few years back and just thinking like, wow, 128, dude, I'm full of storage. I used to think 120 was a lot of like 120
well,
gigabytes.
back
was a
then
lot,
it was a lot
you
of
know?
storage. So
You know, phones do come out with 1 terabyte now.
They do, and I'm not really used to it too much.
updates shouldn't be more than the game.
But like,
Well,
that
it's not really an update. It's more like an installation
It's more like
for the
like an
game.
additional downloading
Yeah,
phase
because
almost.
you need that amount of storage. I'm pretty sure, bro, imagine you're just installing the game on your iPhone, and you see that bubble, that bubble or whatever, that's like installation.
Yeah,
You see that for like an hour or so. Like you're not gonna
and it
get
says like
any.
8 gigs. On
Yeah,
it. Like,
it doesn't give any info. I feel like they should improve that, like because
Yeah.
you don't get any information just from basic installation. Well, like if you're installing it through the app, it's actually pretty good because like you see how much is left. You know that it's actually downloading
some
something.
games actually tell you what it's downloading at the time,
Yeah,
all the different
and
files and everything.
yeah, like textures, like pretty much everything, shadows.
I'm seeing that they tweaked some of the settings to benefit the battery life, and I'm also thinking if it's using that much battery life, is that going to end up killing the phone more? Like if you
No,
plug your
no,
phone
no.
in, well, because you know how when you plug your phone in and you use your phone, technically it deteriorates the battery. If you're using that much more and it's plugged
Okay,
in,
that's not gonna
think you
affect
notice it?
anything. No,
Okay.
because like what's actually affecting the battery life is how much time you recharge it. So
okay,
like,
got it.
bro, you're gonna recharge the phone maybe like 3 more times than of your total lifespan of the phone because of the game. And like I played it on my phone. Like I have iPhone 15 Pro Max juiced out, man. You know what I'm saying? But the interesting part is that it didn't drain that much battery. I feel like, yeah, like compared to like my Quest 3. My Quest 3 dies faster than my phone would die by playing that game. Like I can get decent like 3 to 4 hours, like easily out of just playing the game, and like okay, I would say 3 hours, 3 hours, not 4. I don't know, but I haven't tested it. I haven't done any tests, but I played it. I was playing with my brother, and we actually tweaked a lot of settings. You can go way above the actual. So you have the dedicated amount of how much like processing you have. When you're like going to settings, you change the graphical settings,
How
obviously.
well did it actually play? Like, did it?
Okay, that's
was
the
it
next
smooth?
part though, because like so you can change the settings, and there are a lot of settings. It's pretty much like PC. You have a bunch of them. It's like rendering, shadows, bloom. There's a ton of stuff, and I tried changing through it, and you can go like. The thing that affects the actual GPU power on the phone is actually the textures. So I noticed that, like when I switched through textures. So you have on iPhone 15 Pro Max, you have I'm pretty sure 5 GB of dedicated like GPU power, and you know the maximum the game allowed you to pick was 12 GB. Yo, I put everything on the max settings. Yo, it was a slideshow, man. Literally,
Yeah, no.
because that's
Honestly,
like twice more. Yeah.
I don't think your phone. Well, imagine if they just. I'm thinking they have like if they just come out with this expansion that you can just plug into your phone that just gives it more power. Like that'd
Yeah.
be cool.
That's it. Like
You know, just
I
some
remember.
addition that would just do better. But
Uh-huh.
I don't think that's possible.
I remember Nvidia released like an April Fool's thing. It was like a USB graphic card. You just plug it in.
Well, because you know how they
That was
have
fake.
like Highlands Boot where you can run the entire computer off of the USB, right? But like that's all computers. You
Yeah,
know, it's
until they
different.
make new connections, that won't be possible. And I don't think I'm gonna want that. I'm just
Until
gonna want
iPhone's willing to go off of Lightning and go just to
USB-C now.
Mhm.
Remember,
It is USB-C
yeah.
now, and they might be able to make it. It's possible.
But I don't
I don't think they're gonna want to.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
that's something people will want to buy. Like people
Mm-hmm.
want like I feel it. So the port that we have on the actual phone is a dedicated port to that phone. And
Yeah.
I found it interesting how many settings you can change because like on the actual if you remember, dude, on the actual console you cannot change any settings. I thought it would be the same
I'm
way
also
on
thinking
the
because-
or like iPhone.
Well, I'm thinking that like iPhone is also the same company that decided
Apple?
to set. Oh, sorry. Did I say
Yeah,
Apple? Oh, yeah.
it's iPhone.
Well, no, they're the same kind of company that decided we're going to make a new stylus that you guys can use that will work better, but we're going to charge it. What is it? $50 for the Apple Pen. You know?
130.
Uh,
But the stylus is actually good though.
It
The
does work
stylus
well.
is actually good though because they utilize a lot of technology. Although I've seen those videos where you could just snap in half.
Oh yeah,
But that's
not,
like
well, anything that's that thin and small, you can just snap in half like it's nothing.
but it's actually pretty good technology because you put it on the iPad, it charges like at the top. I feel like for like graphic artists, it's actually pretty good. But
I'm just thinking, though the kind of people
Yeah.
to invest in something like that, if they make something that is there to boost it, that's gonna be a big market for them. If they find something that
Like
can
in
make
gaming?
your phone strong enough, you know, maybe.
so, like, what I thought about is that, like, I looked up people say that, so there are different ports for each section. So, for example, there is port or for each, like, device. So there's a certain port for PS5, for Xbox, for PC, and then for, like, phones now. And there's also VR on Resident Evil Village. You can play on PSVR, I believe, the VR version of it. It's like a full game. And, like, those settings are different for each thing. For each like PC and iPhone, those are different settings. You cannot put on like RTX on the actual iPhone. But like those 12 GB of next like gen RAM or like not RAM, it's like memory that you can utilize. That's I feel like future proof because that will mean that you can use more graphic settings and that will mean that actually it as time goes by the chip will get faster and faster and it will be actually utilized for gaming too,
Okay.
not only like just main phone purposes. It's going to be also for gaming because like the iPhone 15 Pro Max, actually a big portion of it, like huge portion of the selling point of the phone was gaming. And I actually think that's a good thing because like that will make the chip faster for everything, really.
Yeah, I mean, they have to actually expand on how much gaming they're doing, though. Like, I feel like there's not a lot of advertisement okay, there's a lot of advertisement for the gaming portion of it, but they actually need to implement it.
Mhm.
I feel like there's not a lot of like actual like
Well, that's what
work
they have
getting
been
done with that.
advertising. They have been advertising these AAA games. Like this is a full AAA game. You can literally play it, and the graphics don't look like a phone graphic. It looks
Okay.
like
Yeah.
genuine like textures from the
I
full
was
game.
yeah, they were saying that. I wonder if like how you were saying you have those loading screens and stuff. How people hate that. I wonder if they might use something like that to get higher quality
Textures and
resolutions and
everything.
stuff like that.
I've seen the loading screen. They're not that
'Cause I
bad.
mean, like think about
Yeah.
like Genshin Impact. Genshin Impact is it's a beautiful looking game, and they actually
Mhm.
do a decent job at like loading pretty fast.
Yeah.
But they do have a lot of loading
But
locations.
for Genshin Impact, you need to be connected to internet. For
Oh yeah,
this, you
and
don't.
you have to have those massive updates that take
Mm.
like 20 minutes to go through.
Okay, also talking about some other games that are being released on iPhone 15 Pro, which are Death Stranding Director's Cut, The Division Resurgence, which is like a phone game though, but it's like more of a AAA title. Then we have Resident Evil 4 Remake and Assassin's Creed Mirage, and that's also like Assassin or not Assassin, but Resident Evil Village, obviously, which was released. But those games are which are planned on being released on the phone. They are pretty much done. They were advertised already, and they're getting released. I'm pretty sure by the end of this year and somewhere like starting next year, which I find pretty interesting because Death Stranding, huge game,
Yeah,
huge game.
I mean,
Resident Evil 4 Remake, even a bigger game.
any game that's
Yeah.
Resident Evil is going to be a big game, honestly, because
Mm.
it's Resident Evil. They're so known at this point. I'm thinking they got to get these low quality, the old Resident Evil games, and start making those forcibly accessible because you could totally run a low
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
bit
yeah.
game that
That's what they
easily.
did with the Quest 2. They actually made the Resident Evil 4, the normal version, on the headset. You can play it right now, like on the Quest 2. You cannot play the remake version on there because, bro, it takes so much power. It's actually
Yeah, no.
crazy. So I'm
Totally.
surprised they're doing it on actually this. It's actually crazy. On iPhone 15, I mean, that's actually, I don't know. I asked this question. The real question is, is this going to be the start of mobile AAA gaming or the end of it? Because is it like the beginning that is going to end in like a year? That's what it is interesting for me because I feel like, they're gonna release these big games, but are they gonna continue releasing big games? Is it just like one iPhone, like just a sell, like an advertisement thing, like so they sell iPhones, or are they gonna continue pushing on this, gaming marketing onto the next iPhones? And it actually works on iPads too. So it works on the M1 and M2 iPads. I personally have like an iPad Pro with like M2. I haven't tried it on that, but I heard that it runs much better. So the thing, while I was playing Resident Evil Village, is that when I came up to an AI, the game started lagging. That was bad because I had settings set up onto like middle ground, I would say, just normal settings, but it kind of started lagging, and that was the thing. I had to lower some settings for it to run, but like just in areas, open world, where you can just like see pretty much like the forest and everything, you can crank up those settings, bro. It looks beautiful. Like it actually looks like a screen from a PS5 or something like that.
And honestly, those new phones, like I swear, like that is the next generation. People are like, "Oh no, the iPhone X and the iPhone 15 are the same They're totally not the same generation. When they added in 3D rendering and all that kind of stuff into the iPhones, like I think it was iPhone 13, they made it so you like scan rooms and see a 3D
The
rendering
LiDAR
and stuff like
scan,
that.
yeah.
When they add stuff like that, that is what I was able to tell. Like this is different.
I never used
know?
it.
I know they
I
didn't
could've
use
bought
it,
but like I
but
never
they made
used
it possible, and that I think that makes it so there's a lot more
Yeah,
things
it's a use
possible,
case.
and it's kind of just a demonstration of we're pushing things to that point, to that extent. That's a lot more.
Yeah, and that's actually pretty interesting because like most of the third part like world countries they play their games on the phones, and I actually think that this is a good thing that they're releasing these big games because some people can like they don't have access to like consoles or something like oh bro. If you don't have access to a console, bro, are you gonna have an access to $1,000-something phone, bro?
Yeah,
That's the
those
point.
things are expensive too.
Yeah.
Totally.
And it's like
If you're not gonna buy a console, why would buy a $1,500 phone?
not 500. It's like 1,100 something.
They
like
have
that.
well when it comes out right off.
Pro?
If you're gonna buy it like instantly, like the Pro Max, those I think are like it's actually
No, it's
2,000.
1,100.
Really?
Yeah, something like that.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot better of a price than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Because like you remember that when they came out with the
1,200 for the Pro
when they
Max.
came out with the Samsung Flip, dude, that thing like it was. I think
Yo,
that
it
was that was
great.
expensive.
No, Samsung Fold. That was 2,000 bucks.
Galaxy
Yo,
Fold.
I kind of want to buy. Yo, I want to buy that, but bro, that's like actually
I've seen
insane
people
money.
with it, and honestly, if you don't like Android and you're planning on switching just because it flips, I don't think it's worth it. I don't. You know?
I mean, yo,
I still think the iPhone iOS is still worth it. You know?
yeah, I like. Yo, I bought a new phone, bro. What do do is you take the new phone. You literally click one button, it transfers all the data onto your new phone.
I know. Dude,
That's
also
crazy.
so cool. You just put them on top of each other, boom.
Yeah, like 10 minutes,
It's
it's
so cool.
done.
And it's all the same
yeah,
data.
yeah.
You don't have to worry about losing data
Yeah, it's
between transfers
contacts,
and games.
it's pictures. Because I remember we were volunteering.
It's game storage.
Yeah. It was we were volunteering in this senior center, and this guy had an Android phone, and he was trying to transfer the actual contacts onto an SD card. I'm like, yo, I never
What?
did that. Yeah,
Why?
because he wants to get them like.
You have to get it onto the computer if you want to do that. it's
No,
Android,
you can do it
but-
from the phone. You can do. I found the setting. You
Oh.
can do it. Yeah, you can
didn't know
put it
that.
on an SD card. But I feel like that's the thing no one does anymore because iPhones don't have SD cards, and it's like, yo, I mean, Android has SD cards, but it's like, I don't know. Would I actually use them? Because it's like
I
adding
don't
a
want to be
separate.
plugging in an
Yeah, yeah.
SD card like it is a 3DS.
It's
You
a
know?
separate
it-
storage. You know, it's like addition to your storage, but it's like a
think
separate
we
hard
are-
drive. Yeah.
We're way too past having to like being inside a shop where we work with a lot of IT stuff. Having a flash drive to go and transfer stuff is really useful, but you only need that when there's not easy internet connections, and a lot of the stuff when it comes to phone is a lot of it's cloud based and it's all over the internet. So I feel like we're just too far past that. Unless you're in a situation where you physically can't like connect to the internet, I
Yeah.
think it's kind of just it's too much work. You know, they can make it easier.
Yeah, so like for SD cards, like I remember I looked at it and it's like, yo, for SD cards, it's literally the same thing as adding a hard drive to a PC. You have to choose like if you want this like photo or whatever, like
You gotta
this-
format it, yeah.
Yeah, you have to choose if you want it
my
to
bad.
go onto the actual like hard drive or SD card. Like you have to manage it around, and it's kind of like a thing on the console. You have to get some games on the hard drive, some games on the actual, the main storage. And I kind of don't like that because like it gives you a choice, but I don't like that choice. Sometimes, bro, I just want to install it on the phone and I want it done, man. And I don't want to go through the actual process of picking like this goes there, and it's like,
Yeah,
bro, just
or like how it
throw it out, bro.
communicates. Yeah, no.
And yeah, so these were the topics we had. We talked about the gaming PC versus console. We talked about the PS5 Slim, and we talked about the iPhone Pro Max.
The expansion to the PS5. Fortnite.
Also, Fortnite, yeah, it's a new season.
you know,
Let me know, guys. Are y'all gonna be playing that? Yeah. So
And
yeah, that's pretty much it.
also good thing. Let us know where are you landing.
What?
Where are you dropping, huh? Let me know.
I wanna drop Salty, man. Salty
okay.
Springs, man.
I think I said Shifty Shafts.
Mm-hmm.
That was always a classic for me.
Yo, Dusty Divot, bro. Oh, that.
Let us know in the comments, guys, please.
If anyone's watching.
I mean, either
Yeah.
now, do it later.
Do it later,
It's
like-
gonna be up anyways.
So why not do it, bro?
Eventually.
But yeah, I was joined in by these beautiful guests. We have Keegan over here on one side.
Pleasure.
Yeah, Phoenix on this side.
I don't know why not.
So, yo,
Always
hopefully
I
we're
always
gonna
get
get
it.
new people next week. Cause bro, this week I had a lot of stuff to do and I couldn't really manage to get like new guests. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see if this duo will return someday again.
Maybe.
Maybe next week. Yeah.
I mean, is
Nah,
it
I'm just
that?
kidding.
I'll be honest. If we can get, there's just one person I know, and it will be very easy to roll off of someone
Mhm.
just
Yeah.
all of it. I think we can get some good pills together if we can actually get them together.
We can
though,
also
you know?
get like a bunch of like people, you know, on
Oh, yeah,
this
we should
side,
just
this
fill the whole
side.
room.
Yeah, just like
Fill the whole room full of people. Get 20 people in here.
20 people, just people
Entire shop.
on the roof or something,
Yeah.
bro, hanging
that'd
down. Yeah, but this table's pretty small.
I mean, think about it. You can get a different table, different setup, different camera. Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
that's it for today, guys.
Yeah,
that's
guys.
It for today.
Thank you for joining in to the VladCast. I really appreciate every single viewer, every single listener, and we're gonna be here next, actually the week after, on Friday at 12 p.m. EST. So join in. Don't be lazy, bro. Your best tech and the video game podcast, man. Yes, sir. See y'all later, guys. Bye bye. Peace out.